Reading, Pennsylvania. A town forged in steel, scarred by time, and pulsing with a raw energy. This city, once a bustling hub of industry, now stands as a testament to resilience and reinvention. The steel mills that once roared with life are now silent, their towering structures casting long shadows over a community that refuses to be defined by its past. The streets whisper stories of struggle and survival, echoing with the ghosts of industry past. Each corner, each alleyway, holds memories of a bygone era, where the clang of metal and the sweat of laborers were the heartbeat of the town. Now, these streets are a canvas of history, painted with the tales of those who walked them before. Here, amidst the faded grandeur and gritty resilience, four friends navigate the labyrinth of life, bound by a shared history etched in asphalt and laughter. Their bond is a mosaic of moments, from childhood mischief to adult challenges, each piece a testament to their enduring friendship. Tommy, the quick-witted chef with a rapper's tongue and a heart overflowing with fatherly love. In the kitchen, he finds his rhythm, blending flavors and memories, each dish a tribute to his roots and his dreams. His culinary creations are more than food. They are stories, told with spices and served with a side of soul. Noel, the introspective artist, seeking solace in spray paint and struggling to find his place. His art is his voice, a vibrant expression of his inner world splashed across the urban canvas. Each mural he creates is a dialogue with the city, a conversation between his soul and the streets of Reading. Juan, the quiet observer, battling his demons with a bottle in hand and yearning for connection. His silence speaks volumes, a reflection of the battles waged within. In the quiet moments, he finds clarity, his thoughts a turbulent sea calmed by the presence of his friends. And Jakey, the street-smart protector, his tough exterior masking a vulnerability born of hard-won wisdom. He stands as a guardian, his eyes always scanning for threats, his heart always ready to defend those he loves. His strength is his shield, his loyalty his sword. They grew up together, scrapping for every inch in a world that offered little. Their childhood was a battleground, each day a fight for survival, each victory a testament to their tenacity. They learned early that life in Reading was not for the faint of heart. They tasted the bitterness of poverty, felt the sting of betrayal, and witnessed firsthand the devastating grip of addiction. These experiences shaped them, forging a bond that could withstand the harshest of storms. They saw the world at its worst, yet chose to believe in the possibility of better days. Yet, through it all, they held on to each other, their friendship a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. Their connection was their anchor, grounding them when the world seemed intent on pulling them apart. In each other's company, they found strength, solace, and a reason to keep fighting. Now, years later, they stand as men, fathers united by an unspoken code of loyalty. Their roles have changed, but their bond remains unbreakable. As they guide their children through the same streets they once roamed, they pass on the lessons learned from a lifetime of struggle and triumph. They bear the scars of their past, but their spirits remain unbroken. Each scar is a story, a reminder of battles fought and lessons learned. They wear them with pride, symbols of their journey and their resilience. They are Reading's sons, streetwise dads facing down life's challenges with humor, heart, and an unwavering dedication to the families they strive to raise. In their laughter, in their love, they find the strength to keep moving forward, to keep believing in the promise of tomorrow. The air crackled with the sizzle of onions hitting hot oil, the aroma of garlic and cumin filling Tommy's cramped kitchen. He moved with a practiced ease, his hands a blur as he chopped vegetables, stirred sauces, and flipped tortillas on the stovetop. A symphony of culinary chaos orchestrated by a man who found solace in the rhythm of cooking.
Dinner's almost ready, Miss Amores.
6 pairs of eyes, each a mirror reflecting different shades of his own, turned towards him. His children, his lifeblood, the source of his greatest joys and most formidable challenges.
Daddy, tell us a joke!
He grinned, his eyes crinkling at the corners.
Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants?
A chorus of why rang out, punctuated by groans from his teenage sons.
In case he got a hole in one.
Tommy delivered the punchline with a flourish, his laughter echoing theirs. The insistent drone of machinery provided a monotonous backdrop to Noel's thoughts as he manned his station at the factory. The rhythmic clanking and whirring of the machines were almost hypnotic, a constant reminder of the repetitive nature of his work. His hands worked with automatic precision, years of repetitive labor etching a weariness into his bones. Each movement was a testament to the countless hours spent in this industrial labyrinth, where time seemed to stretch and compress in strange ways. But his mind, his spirit, yearned for something more. Amidst the mechanical symphony, his thoughts wandered to a world of colors and creativity, a stark contrast to the gray monotony of his daily grind. He found solace in the quiet hours after his shift, when the city slept and he could unleash his creativity. The deserted streets became his canvas, a place where he could express the dreams that filled his heart. Armed with cans of spray paint, he transformed forgotten alleyways into vibrant murals, his art a silent rebellion against the drudgery of his days. Each stroke of paint was a declaration of his existence, a burst of color in an otherwise dull world. Sharing a cramped apartment with his girlfriend and her 3 kids was a constant test of his patience. The small space was always filled with noise and activity, leaving little room for personal reflection. He loved the kids, he truly did, but the chaos and lack of space often left him feeling suffocated. The constant demands of family life weighed heavily on him, making his moments of solitude even more precious. He craved a space of his own, a sanctuary where he could lose himself in his art and find a moment's peace. In his mind, he envisioned a small studio, a place where he could escape the noise and immerse himself in his creative process. His friendship with Tommy was a lifeline. In Tommy, he found a kindred spirit, someone who understood the struggles and dreams that defined his existence. They understood each other, these 2 survivors who had stared down their demons and emerged, battered but not broken. Their conversations were a refuge, a place where they could share their hopes and fears without judgment. They shared a history, a language forged in the crucible of their past, and their laughter when it came was a balm to their weary souls. In those moments of shared joy, they found strength to face another day, knowing they were not alone in their journey. Section 4. Juan's quiet strength, a father's love. Juan moved through his days with a quiet grace, his movements measured, his gaze steady. He was a man of few words, his shyness often mistaken for aloofness, but beneath his reserved exterior beat the heart of a lion, a fierce love for his 2 children burning bright. He had sole custody, a responsibility he shouldered with unwavering dedication. Their mother, lost to the labyrinth of her own struggles, was a distant memory, a bittersweet ache in his heart. He worked construction, his hands calloused, his back perpetually sore. The loneliness was a constant companion, a shadow that stretched long in the evenings when the kids were asleep. He sought solace in the familiar burn of tequila, the warmth spreading through him a temporary reprieve from the weight of his thoughts. He knew he drank too much, that the bottle was a crutch, a dangerous one at that. But in those moments of inebriated oblivion, he found a temporary escape from the burdens he carried. Section 5. Jakey's Code, Protect and Serve, Family First. Jakey moved with a quiet confidence, his eyes scanning his surroundings. Always alert, always aware. He had learned to read the subtle cues of the city, the way shadows shifted, the way people moved. His hands never far from the pockets of his leather jacket, fingers brushing against the worn leather, a comforting reminder of his readiness. He was a protector by nature, a man who understood the language of the streets, the silent conversations that took place in glances and gestures. The unspoken rules that governed their world were second nature to him, a code he lived by every day. His own childhood had been a brutal education in survival. Growing up in a neighborhood where danger lurked around every corner, he had learned to be tough, to be resilient. He'd seen things, done things that still haunted his dreams. The memories of those dark times were etched into his soul, a constant reminder of where he came from. But he'd vowed to break the cycle, to rise above the circumstances of his past. He was determined to create a different future for his son, to give his son the life he never had, a life filled with opportunities and hope. Every moment spent with his son was a step towards that promise. He worked odd jobs, construction gigs mostly, taking whatever work he could find to make ends meet. The long hours and hard labor were a small price to pay for his son's future. His hands rough and scarred, testaments to his work ethic and determination. Each scar told a story of sacrifice and perseverance. He wasn't perfect, not by a long shot. He had his flaws, his moments of weakness, but he never let them define him. He battled his own demons, the ghosts of his past that whispered in the dark. The siren call of drugs a constant temptation, a battle he fought every day. But he resisted, for his son, for himself. He knew that giving in would mean losing everything he had worked so hard to build. He fought with every ounce of strength he had, for his son, for the hope of a better tomorrow. His love for his son was his anchor, the one thing that kept him grounded, for the hope of a better tomorrow, a future where his son could thrive. He dreamed of a day when his son would look back and be proud of the man his father was. His love for his son was his anchor, the one constant in a life of uncertainty. It was a love that gave him strength, that fueled his determination. The bond they shared was unbreakable, forged in the fires of their struggles. Together, they faced the world, stronger for having each other. He'd do anything to protect him, to shield him from the harsh realities of their world. He was his son's guardian, his protector, to shield him from the harsh realities of their world, to give him a chance at a better life. He was determined to be the father his son deserved, no matter the cost.